TV Accessibility, Past, Present and Future by Michelle Chu. 10 Years of Ali Bites 2022.
Thanks for joining Ali Byte 2022. My name is Michelle Chu and I'm an accessibility specialist on mobile and TV apps from the ABC. And today I'll be talking about TV accessibility, past, present and future. Before I start, today I'm speaking from Wurundjeri country. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodian of this land which we live, learn and work, and pay our respect to all Aboriginal elders and to their families, past and present, and to acknowledge today's Aboriginal community who are the custodian of this land. So, today we will go through what is TV accessibility, what are the technology available right now, how to design for TV accessibility, today's and future's TV, what is ABC doing currently and what's next. So hang on tight and let's start. To start off with, I got a quote from on the screen from Invisible Imi, and it says, being accessible should mean that nobody is excluded from doing or using something, and they should be able to do so within a reasonable equal amount of effort and time as those without a disability. Nowadays, television is an essential part of everybody's life, especially with the rise of COVID. We spend more and more time at home sitting on the couch, enjoying televisions. And like everybody else, people with vision loss, blind, or perhaps deaf or hard of hearing also like to watch TV and be part of the conversation. So with video on demand rising and the current market growth of smart TV, like TV boxes, it is important to make sure we get it right and we build it right. So what is it like back in the days with TV? So on the screen, I have a man with sunglasses on and with question mark buckles around them. They have their head slightly tilted and looking a bit confused. So back in the days, there's not much you can do with a TV. If you can remember, you can check what's on the schedule through the magazine, maybe on the TV. You can probably scan through different channels and see what's available. You can turn on captions, and for foreign content, subtitles are available. But overall, there's not much you can do about it. And if you miss the show, you missed it. And guess what? A lot have changed since then. And with the rise of smart TV, quite a lot of TV these days have something called voice guidance. What it basically do, it works like a screen reader. It is pretty awesome. It allows the TV to read the screen text back to you and provide verbal feedback of what you've done. So for example, it will be selecting, changing the volume, select different channels. It will tell you what the current channel is and the program information. And this is such a game changer for those who have vision impaired, and now they're able to hear what's going on the screen without asking someone to help or transcribe. Second, you have something called voice control. All you need to do is either say a command phrase or hold the microphone button on your remote, and then you can command your TV to do something. It could be something like, go to the ABC News channel, then you have ABC News playing on your TV. It is cool, isn't it? But there's more. You can change your caption display these days. If white on black doesn't suit you, well, you can change it to black on white. Or yellow on black. You can change the text size or the font style. The world is your oyster. Some smart TV or TV box even allows you to adjust the position of your font so that it won't block some of the on-screen text. There's also something called sign language zoom, which automatically recognize and enlarge the sign language area. In some cases, you have your sign language quite small, and that's where you want to use it. You can also specify a sign language area and adjust the magnification as you required. There's so much more. I wish I can talk about this all days, but I only have 10 minutes. So with all this cool technology, how do we make sure that our TV apps are also usable as well? So the first one is make sure your focus indicator is always really, really clear. So most of the smart TV these days have a focus to indicate, user focus to indicate where your focus is or where you are. So make it really clear at a distance when something is in focus. So it could be like a white outline with an increase in size. That will be a really good way to do it. Second, When designing for TV apps, make sure your font is nice and big. TV screens are generally larger than mobile devices and computer monitors, but they usually view at a much greater distance. So readability really becomes such an important feature, which means that the size of the text and other elements must be adjusted accordingly. So go larger. When in doubt, go larger. Bump up both your text size and your weight, and make sure it's never smaller than 24 pixels. Third, avoid using oversaturated color combinations and pure white background. Have you ever wondered why all the TV apps background is usually dark gray? The reason why is because the heavy use of pure white in large elements or background can often cause eye strain. Oversaturated colors can look great on light surface, but they can visually vibrate against the dark surfaces, which make them a lot harder to read. So desaturate your primary color in order to make the contrast enough against the dark background, but not too high contrast. And don't use white background. Fourth, when caption or audio description are available, make sure they're easy to find and explore. For those of you who don't know what audio description is, it's basically audio track that audio describe and explain the visual content of place, scene, action, and even emotion to the audience with visual impairment while they're escaping during the video. So include your audio description and caption category on your TV apps so that user can find them all in one place and there's no guesswork. When audio description or caption icon is used, make sure to label them correctly. Use audio described or closed caption available. So that it's really clear whether a show is audio described or captioned or not. And finally, test them. Don't just test them with screen readers, but also test them with other assistive tags such as large text, display settings, and switch control, and play around with different system native settings and making sure your apps are respecting them as well. So we talk about the past. We talk about what kind of technology is available. So what's today's and future's TV is going to look like? I see more and more good audio described content available on TV. Audio described content is not only there because for the sake of audio description, but it was well thought out. In the future, I would like to see producers to think about audio description when creating content. So allow space to put in audio description in the audio tracks of the shows. Secondly, caption everywhere. Caption these days are so well done and it is a standard to have them available. All the shows on broadcasts on ABC main TV channels between 6 a.m. and midnight every day are captioned. One thing I would definitely like to see more is the TV advert getting captions. As often, spoken content and visual content doesn't match up. Without caption available, deaf and hard of hearing users won't get the same message. And finally, at the ABC, we have ABC News Weekly National News Bulletin in Australian Sign Language, Auslan, so that deaf and hard of hearing audience can find out what's going on around the world. Sign language is important as captions are often less preferable, and sometimes it's not possible for them to read and understand the text the same way as presenting caption. So I would definitely like to see different media services to increase the coverage of news in Auslan. So finally, what is ABC doing and what's next? I have an image description. I have an image on the right hand side with different posts of ABC content available on iView, such as Mustard Dog and Bluey. We're currently preparing to bring audio description to our video on demand service iView. Delivery of AD across the device will be staggered, but it means that soon you'll be able to listen to audio description content anytime, anywhere you want. We're also conducting further research on audio description to make sure we get it right and we build it right for our users. Secondly, we're looking for a content library at the moment to make sure our content is rich and there's plenty of AD and caption content available. And finally, every day our developers and designers are working really hard to implement bug fixes and new designs to improve our user experience so that it's accessible and easy to use. Hopefully you enjoyed this session as much as I do, and feel free to contact me via LinkedIn, www.linkedin.com/i/chu-michelle, or you can email me at chu.michelle@abc.net.au. My name is Michelle, and thank you for listening today. Happy Gap Day, and hope you enjoy the rest of the presentation in Ali Bytes 2022.
Celebrating 10 years, Ali Bytes 2022.